Hi guys, welcome to Life with Lisa, and today I am going to be talking about why you need a wedding binder, organizer, wedding planner, book, any of those names you want to call it. So you just got engaged, right? So you have all of this stuff going in your mind, you know, your bridesmaids, your venue, your caterer, your decorations, your invitations, like the list goes on and on and on and on and on, right? So to ease a lot of the stress, I would highly recommend getting some kind of binder or planner. So the one I actually got is this one. I just went to Barnes & Noble, actually the week I got engaged. My fiance and I stopped at Barnes & Noble and went to the wedding section and looked over every single one they had to offer. So I am going to tell you why I picked the planner that I chose and how it has helped me planning my wedding so far. So here we go. So this is the wedding planner organizing book that I chose. Like I said, I got it from Barnes & Noble. They had a large selection. So it has all kinds of tabs here: calendars, budget, guest list, venue, inspiration, vendors, timeline, attire, reception, ceremony, seating, everything you could possibly think of that you would need in planning your wedding, it is in here. So I will just take you through a couple of the main reasons I liked this specific book. So it gives you a to-do list, and this was one thing I was stressing about. As soon as I got engaged, I was like, I don't know when stuff needs to happen. So this lays everything out for you. It gives you an approximate timeline. Of course, you don't have to follow it specifically, but for example, this says 12 to 18 months prior to wedding. Get a wedding binder. Done. You can check that off your list. And then one of the big things would be set a budget. So that's next on your list. And you go through this book, and it goes from 10 to 12 months out. Here at 8 to 10 months, you should be kind of thinking of a photographer to choose for your wedding. Now, one thing I really liked about this book, and this is one of the reasons I got it, is it has these pre-made blank calendars. So you can fill out every month up until your wedding of your due dates, of when your certain parties are, when your bridal party is, when you need to pay your caterer or for the venue. So it allows you to write in every month. And I tend to use this for some other stuff too, but you know, here we have our honeymoon that week. So the guest list page, I kind of filled up. So this is my guest list page. I'm a little OCD and a perfectionist, and I organize my stuff in a certain way. So I have my side guests, and then my fiance's side guests listed. And then what I actually did, because this is just something that I do, so I actually counted how many individual people we were going to be inviting. Then I did a caterer head count. So sometimes when you are picking your caterer, you're not going to count, you know, a 2-year-old or a 6-year-old as one full adult meal. So I went through and kind of counted the kids. I put a few of them together, and so then I was able to tell our caterer kind of a rough estimate of how many people might be coming to our wedding. So one of the things I actually don't like about this specific binder organizer is it doesn't have any kind of place like a pouch or an extra pages to put all of your receipts. So you're gonna be racking up a lot of receipts for, you know, all of your deposits, your caterers, your photographer, etc. And for the most part, you want to keep them all in the same location. So with this, since there isn't anything like that for receipts, for now, I am just actually, this is my receipts so far. I am actually just putting them right in the front here. Everything is still right here. I have everything paper clipped together so they're not gonna fall apart, but that is one thing I don't like about this specific binder. Now, all binders aren't going to work for everybody. I went through about, they probably had about 10 or so binders that I went through, and I picked the one that had the most stuff and pages and tabs that I liked and I would use. Some of the pages I'm not gonna use, let's face it, but for a majority, I'm gonna use most of them. One main reason I went with just buying a pre-made binder is reduce the stress. It's already done for me. A lot of people will do it yourself binders, and that's awesome. Then you can make it exactly how you want it. But for me, that was just another thing to put on my list to do. And I didn't want to have to think of every single tab and every single category that I would potentially be needing. So that's why I went with actually buying one. Another reason to have a organizer binder, just in general, whether you buy one or it's do it yourself or literally just a notepad and pencil, for me, as soon as I get something done, I put it in the binder, I write it down, and I forget about it. I don't have to constantly be stressing and worrying that I'm gonna forget something regarding my wedding and who I have called, who I haven't called, who I need to set up appointments with, when I have appointments. So that is what I use the binder for, is to create even less stress on myself, because I mean, let's face it, we all know that the wedding planning process is as stressful as can be anyways, so why would you want to create more stress and having to remember all of this stuff you're planning? So I hope you were able to take away one little, hopefully helpful tip in your wedding planning process of getting a organizer binder or making your own, whatever you choose. It's definitely gonna reduce your stress, I promise you. But if you would like to follow along with my journey, follow along with any more tips and tricks, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. See ya.